She had me thrown in jail for child support, until a DNA test proved I wasn't the father. I lost everything because I trusted her. This is how the system punished me for a child that wasn't mine. I'm not proud of what I'm about to tell you, but I'm not ashamed either. I've lived through it, and I've come out the other side. My name's Daniel Brooks. I'm 42 years old, born and raised in Ohio, and for most of my adult life I thought I was doing the right thing. I worked hard, paid my taxes, kept my head down. I wasn't perfect, but I wasn't a criminal. At least, not until the state decided I was. I met Rachel in 2006. She was working at a diner off Route 23, and I was doing HVAC installs for a local contractor. She had this way of talking that made you feel like you were the only person in the room. We started dating, moved in together after 6 months, and got married the following year. It wasn't a fairy tale, but it felt solid. We had fights, sure, but nothing that made me think it wouldn't last. In 2009, she told me she was pregnant. I remember feeling scared, but also proud. I wasn't ready to be a dad, but I figured no one really is. When the baby came, a boy, she named him Tyler, I did what I thought a father should do. I worked longer hours, picked up side jobs, tried to be present. But something shifted in Rachel. She got distant, started going out more, stopped talking to me unless it was about bills or the baby. I asked her if something was wrong, and she always said she was just tired. By 2011, we were barely speaking. I'd come home and she'd be gone, or she'd be there but wouldn't look at me. I found out she was seeing someone else through a mutual friend. I confronted her, and she didn't deny it. She said she wanted a divorce. I didn't fight it. I moved out, got a small apartment near the warehouse I was working at, and tried to keep things civil for Tyler's sake. The court awarded her full custody, and I was ordered to pay $780 a month in child support. I didn't argue. I just signed the papers and tried to keep up. For the first year, I paid on time. Then work slowed down. The company lost a few contracts, and I was laid off. I picked up temp jobs, but the money wasn't steady. I missed a few payments. Then a few more. I got letters from the county, warnings, threats. I tried to explain, but no one cared. To them, I was just another deadbeat dad. In 2014, I got a knock on my door at 6 a.m. It was 2 sheriff's deputies with a warrant. They cuffed me in front of my neighbor's kid and took me in. I was charged with felony non-payment of child support. I tried to tell them I wasn't refusing to pay, I just didn't have the money. They said it didn't matter. I was processed, booked, and held on $10,000 bail. I couldn't afford it. I spent the next 4 months in county jail. That place changes you. You learn to keep your mouth shut, keep your back to the wall, and never ask questions. I shared a cell with a guy who'd stabbed his cousin over a poker game. Another guy was in for armed robbery. And me? I was there because I couldn't pay for a kid I wasn't even sure was mine. That thought had been eating at me for years. Tyler didn't look like me. He had red hair, pale skin, freckles. Rachel and I were both dark-haired. I asked her once, back when we were still married, and she got defensive. Said I was accusing her of cheating. I let it go. But sitting in that cell, staring at the ceiling night after night, I couldn't shake it. When I finally got out, I was broke, unemployed, and had a record. I couldn't get hired anywhere. I was living in my truck behind a gas station. I started asking around about getting a DNA test. I didn't know the process, didn't have the money, but I was desperate. I found a clinic that offered discounted tests for legal cases. I scraped together what I could, sold my tools, borrowed from a friend, and got tested. Rachel refused at first. Said I was trying to hurt Tyler. I told her I just wanted the truth. She finally agreed, probably because she thought it would shut me up. We went to the clinic, signed the papers, and waited. 2 weeks later, I got the results. I wasn't the father. 0% probability. I stared at the paper for a long time. I didn't feel relief. I felt hollow. Like the last 10 years of my life had been built on a lie. I took the results to the family court. Filed a motion to terminate the child support order. The judge looked at me like I was trying to dodge responsibility. I showed him the test. He asked why I waited so long. I said I didn't know. I said I trusted her. He didn't say anything. Just signed the order. The payment stopped, but the damage was done. I still had the felony on my record. Still had the jail time. Still had the years of debt and shame. I tried to sue for damages, but the lawyer said I didn't have a case. Said the system doesn't care about mistakes like mine. I haven't seen Tyler since. I don't know if he knows. I don't know if Rachel ever told him. Sometimes I wonder if he ever thinks about me. If he remembers the nights I rocked him to sleep, the weekends at the park, the birthdays. I wasn't his father, but I tried to be. I live in a small town now, work under the table fixing HVAC units. Keep to myself. I don't date. I don't talk about the past unless someone asks. And even then, I keep it short. Most people don't want to hear it. They think I'm bitter. Maybe I am. But I'm also tired. Tired of being punished for trusting the wrong person. Tired of being labeled something I'm not. I never hated Rachel. I don't think she set out to ruin me. But she didn't care enough to stop it. And that's what hurts the most. Not the jail, not the debt, not the shame. It's knowing that someone you loved could watch you drown and not lift a finger. I used to think closure was something you got from a courtroom or a signed document. Turns out it's not. It's something you build yourself, piece by piece, when no one's watching. After the court terminated the child support order, I thought maybe things would start to turn around. But the truth is, once you've been labeled, it sticks. Employers see the felony, not the context. Friends hear, deadbeat dad, not wrongfully accused. And Rachel? She never apologized. Not once. I tried to rebuild. I moved to a small town in Indiana where no one knew me. Got a job fixing HVAC systems for cash. The guy who hired me didn't ask questions, just wanted the work done fast and cheap. I lived in a rented room above a garage. No lease, no paperwork. Just cash in an envelope every Friday. It wasn't much, but it was quiet. I didn't have to explain myself to anyone. Sometimes I'd think about Tyler. Wonder what kind of kid he was turning into. If he liked baseball or video games, or if he still had that stuffed bear he used to carry around. I thought about reaching out, but I didn't know how. I didn't want to confuse him or make things worse. I figured if Rachel hadn't told him the truth, it wasn't my place. But it gnawed at me. That feeling of unfinished business. One night, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. I almost didn't answer, but something told me to pick up. It was Rachel. Her voice was flat, tired. She said Tyler had been asking questions. Said he found some old photos of me and wanted to know who I was. I didn't say anything. Just listened. Then she asked if I wanted to talk to him. Said yes. He called me the next day. His voice was deeper than I remembered, but still had that softness. He asked me if I was his dad. I told him the truth. That I thought I was for a long time. That I loved him like a son. That I didn't know I wasn't until years later. He was quiet. Then he said, I remember you. You used to make pancakes on Saturdays. I felt something crack open inside me. We talked for a while. Nothing heavy. Just memories, little things. He asked why I left. I told him I didn't want to, but I had to. That I tried to stay in his life, but things got complicated. He said he understood. I don't know if he really did, but it meant something to hear it. After that, we talked every few weeks. He'd call when he had a question about his car, or when he was thinking about college. I never gave advice unless he asked. Just listened. Tried to be there in whatever way I could. Rachel didn't interfere. I think she knew she'd done enough damage. I never tried to get back what I lost. There's no point. The years are gone. The money, the reputation, the time, I'll never get those back. But I found something else. The kind of peace. Not the kind you read about in books. The kind that comes from accepting what is, instead of chasing what was. I still live simply. Still work with my hands. I don't have much, but I sleep better now. I don't wake up angry. I don't replay the courtroom scenes in my head. I don't count the months I spent behind bars. I just get up, do the work, and keep moving. Sometimes people ask me why I don't sue, or go public, or try to clear my name. I tell them it's not about revenge. It's about survival. I survived something that could have broken me. And I'm still here. That's enough. Tyler's 16 now. He's taller than me. Plays guitar. Wants to study engineering. I send him books sometimes. He doesn't always read them, but he says thanks. That's enough too. I don't know what Rachel thinks about all this. I don't ask. I don't need her to say sorry. I just needed the truth. And I got it. Late, but I got it. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that the system doesn't care about truth. It cares about paperwork, deadlines, signatures. But truth has a way of surfacing even when no one's looking for it. And when it does, you have to be ready. Not to fight, but to live with it. I'm not the man I was before all this. I'm quieter. Slower to trust. But I'm also stronger. Not in the way people think. Not muscles or bravado. Just in the way I carry things. The weight doesn't crush me anymore. I carry it and I keep walking. That's my story. No twists, no redemption arc. Just a man who got caught in the gears and found a way to keep moving. If you're listening, maybe that's enough. Maybe that's all any of us can do. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this.